Is Australia still worth it?
I didn't go to USA. I came in Australia. I do have a dark skin. I do have a different accent. But in these 23 years, I was never been bullied or discriminated, which was very likely in the US. Yes, you have worked for PwC, but what you have done, that is important. Then where you have done. Here, nothing to memorize. There is no structured exam here. You are made for critical thinker. Easier the program is, the more difficult it will be, to get a job. So don't choose the shortcut. If you love marketing, if you love management, then that is a different issue.
Yeah.
But maybe that will not give you the job here. Maybe that will not give you the permanent residence. I recruited more than 2 students from your classroom. All of them, they are earning 6-digit number. The initial job I'm talking about, the first job they have got was 6-digit.
All right, so this is a very, very special episode. I've shot this with one of my favorite professors of semester 1, and I think we've had a wonderful discussion. I think we've covered all bases. Watch it till the end and you'll learn and enjoy it. I've kept it very raw, very real. I just sat there as a curious student, so I kept it very unscripted. So yeah, watch it till the end and I hope you'll learn something. I'll see you at the end.
And this is the angle you're looking for,
Yeah.
not that one much. But,
And there's no rule.
seldomly we can, yeah.
There's no rule. There's no rule. We just
No rule.
go with the flow. Yeah.
Freehand.
All right. So, sir, I've been here for almost like 10 months now. I came in last year, July. So, what I have realized and what I have noticed and observed since then with regards to Australian studies and Australian schooling culture or teaching style, whatever I expected, I mean, the expectations are met. But then, that 360-degree turn from what I was studying in my home country. I mean, I've not done my master's anywhere before. So this is my first time doing my master's. So I don't have any point of comparison. And also when I've talked to a lot of students, I mean, I keep taking feedbacks. So there's a very mixed reaction. Some say that, they love it and they're very excited. But for some, they don't even mind missing lectures. What do you think?
Yeah, I think for especially the international students, they experience the convergence of a number of pressures. Of course, the extent to which you'll be exposed to those convergent pressures, that is of course dependent on you and your environment. But in general, the overseas students, number one, they experience the pressure of language. Many of them, they are not from English background, so language is a huge barrier for them. Second one is cultural, I would not say shock, but adjustment. So that cultural adjustment takes time. Number three, they do have financial kind of pressure as well, and of course the way of learning or teaching here. So some students, they have prepared mentally before they come to the university, and they can adapt things. But when some students, they have done their bachelor in say in Bangladesh or India, and they come for their masters, and they can easily see there is a difference. Of course, it depends on the teachers, how interactive they make their classrooms. But in general, when you do have all these kind of, as I said, convergence of pressures, if you have less of them, then you tend to enjoy more in the classroom, and vice versa. Here, we teach students in an open environment, contrary to our countries. But here, our culture or teaching style is different. Here, we try to bring most out of our students. Here, you are open to debate. Here, you're open to ask questions, difficult questions, challenge the tutor or teachers, and then learn from the real life cases. Okay, not necessarily you are learning from the teacher. I repeat, here not necessarily you are learning from the teacher, but you are learning how to learn from the teacher. So as quickly as you can adjust with this delivery culture, I think you will start enjoying the classes.
Yeah,
Challenge yourself.
yeah, that's why I feel that some students actually enjoy because they love that interaction, and they love that group work, and they love that debate sort of thing. So some people actually very enjoy this kind of teaching style.
Yep.
But some students who are of that habit that the teacher will actually spoon feed all the knowledge, and they'll give the notes, and they'll be the one who'll be actually studying them everything, but actually you'll have to self study a lot here because you just have 2 or 3 hours of lecture a week. So that's your time where you have to ask questions to the lecturer and not just be completely reliant on the teacher that they'll be studying you from A to Z.
Exactly, exactly. As I said, here, again, contrary to our education system, here nothing to memorize.
Yeah.
There is no structured exam here, right? So that is a complete shift, as I said, from our educational system to Australian education system. Here you don't memorize anything. Rather, you you are made for critical thinker, right? So that is the fundamental difference. These students, they need to understand that they are the critical thinkers, not they have memorized some answers and just vomit those answers in the exam hall.
When a student is selecting a course, what all things he should keep in mind? Because I had 2 3 parameters, like first of all I should be interested in that, secondly it should align with what I've done in my bachelor's,
Yeah.
and third, when I graduate I have some scope in the market. There is some demand, because I remember like 2 3 years back there were students, and whenever I used to talk to them there was only one course, cybersecurity. And now when I talk to those same students, they have a completely different point of view.
First of all, you need to ask yourself whether after finishing your graduation, you'll be seeking a job in Australia or back in your country. So,
Let's say Australia.
okay, let's say Australia. So then half of the debate is gone. Okay. So in that case, you need to look at seek.com.au or the job websites where you can see the demand of what job does have what demand and how much you can earn in a year. If the permanent residence is the concern, definitely you need to look at which program gives you the maximum marks. First of all, definitely you have to like, at least if not love, that program. Given that, then the next criteria or dimension comes, and the general, my advice is the easier the program is, the more difficult it will be, to get a job. I repeat,
Easier on what
the
basis?
easier. Okay, so for example, data science is easier than doing management. Right, masters in management, for example.
Okay.
Generally speaking, master in data science will be more difficult than master in management or master in marketing, for example. All right. So if the program is easier, it will be difficult for you to get a job.
Okay.
All right. So don't choose the shortcut. If you love marketing, if you love management, then that is a different issue.
Yeah.
But maybe that will not give you the job here. Maybe that will not give you the permanent residence. So my advice to the potential students that you go for technical programs or subjects rather than generic kind of programs as management or marketing, MBA. So these are for your promotion, I would say, or if you are a local, maybe there is no harm to do that. But for an outsider, I think that will be a huge challenge. So whenever you take a course, ask yourself whether is it an easygoing unit. If yes, I would say no. Ask yourself how much value it will add on you. Do you know anything about this course? If the answer is no, go for it. But if you think half of the course I already know about it, don't.
Just to end this whole discussion, like this whole debate, bottom line, let's say there are two baskets. Okay, one, there's a subject that the student is very much interested in, but then the PR pathway and then the job market for that course is not so good, but he loves it. He knows that if he does it, he'll actually be the top of the top. This is one choice that he has. The other choice is there's one subject which is very much relevant to the market, and there's a lot of demand of that course, but he does not actually is interested first of all, and he does not he knows that he'll not enjoy when he'll be in the class, when he'll attend those 2 hours lecture, he'll not have a good day. So what should he or she pick? One which he is interested
Yeah,
in.
I got your question.
And yeah.
So this is a tricky question, I would say. Setting your priority is very important. Here, the priority, I mean the permanent residence or your enjoyment. So again, my first assumption is you don't hate this subject or program. If you don't like at all, then there is no point, because this is a long 16
Exactly.
the courses program. So it's a long time. So if you don't like it, then don't go.
Exactly.
Full stop. If your priority is, first of all, I have to get a permanent residence, because once you get the permanent residence, then you can do any program, any courses with the help of the government fees. You don't need to pay upfront. The government pays and later you pay it off. So one possible pathway could be, I'm not again deciding your future, I'm just giving you a pathway that yes, do whatever is required in the market to get a job, to get the permanent residence. If you like it, if you don't love it, you don't need to love a program right now. Again, if your priority is this one. But again, if your priority is, okay, now let me explore as much as, say, for example, I'm very passionate about physics. So if you are top on physics, then maybe, there is no harm of doing this, because the cream will be considered cream in any country in any time. So
Yep.
this is not our point of discussion, because you are not, I mean, I'm not cream. Again, when you are cream, then you don't need to think about anything, because you will be appreciated in any market. I'm talking about the mediocres. That is the huge kind of area.
Yeah.
So yeah, you enjoy political science much, very much. Yes, do this, but again, it doesn't give you the warranty of getting a permanent residence. That means you need to either go back to your own country, or you need to do your second master's. So I'm talking about just do it, flip it. Do your second master's first, right? Which gives you the job or the permanent residence, and come back again later in 3 years' time.
To follow your passion or whatever.
Exactly. That is
Okay.
practical kind of suggestion.
Yes.
You don't need to take it, by the way.
Yeah, the reason why I'm prolonging this debate, because I have observed students in my own course that they are struggling. This question always sparks in my mind, that why do students do this if they are not actually understanding or not even interested? Let's say if it is, that course is very much relevant, but if you're not excelling, like even if you're not passing.
The thing is, as you are keep harping on this issue, which is, yeah, if you like it or not. So you have to like it on the first place. All right. There is no point of carrying all these things for nothing for 2 bloody years. It doesn't make sense. Plus, if you just pass, you're talking about fail, but if you even pass, when the potential employer sees your transcript, that 55, 56, 57, so the general kind of assessment will be against you, right? So yeah, there is no point of continuing a course or program which you don't like. You are taking it for the sake of your family, for the sake of your permanent residence. Yeah, you need to think twice.
Now, I want to touch upon one of the most debatable topics or discussions, and that is, which is the best university? I feel that this question itself is not very debatable and should not be a topic of discussion, but still students have this question in my mind, that if I'm coming in Australia, just tell me which university should I pick, or just tell me that top 10 list. And people, they just type world rankings, give me the top 10 ranked, tell me which universities come in the group of 8 and all of that. Should students consider university rankings when they're selecting the university? Does it help?
Okay, I can give you an analogy that, if you search for the most livable cities in the world, and of course it gives you 10 cities. And many of the times, Melbourne, Sydney, Perth, or even Adelaide,
Yes.
they take the positions in top 10.
I think Melbourne has come seven
Now,
times in a row.
7 in a row, yeah.
Yeah.
But now it is second or third. But in another ranking, it is now first. But that is not my point.
Yeah.
This is an analogy.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that the 35th city is not livable, right? That can be
I love
still,
this
yeah.
analogy.
So the number one university doesn't essentially tell you that you need to study on that university.
Yep.
Because when you rank a university, there are a number of dimensions or characteristics or criteria similar to when we rank the cities. So you need to look at whether, number one, the program you are, intending to get in, if that is the number one university in Australia. All right, that is something you need to look at. Number two, look at yourself, which is like, if I'm good enough to go to the number one university, all right. Maybe yes, they will give you the admission. That is not the problem. The thing is, if I'm not prepared on the intellectual level, I'm talking about, to discuss things with my teammates, then you will feel inferior. That inferior complexity will come in day one.
Yep.
That, oh my God, the frequency of my friends is there and my frequency is there.
Yep.
So there is a huge gap, even though you have been admitted. So assess yourself whether you are ready for the number one university or. So the first criteria is, number one, whether that is the university you are looking for, that program or course. Right, that is the number one. Number two, as I said, if you are mentally and intellectually ready to capture the lectures of the teachers, plus to have discussions with your teammates. Number three, of course, again, we are talking about the overseas students, right? So, in general, the top the university, the tuition fee will be higher.
Higher.
The expectation from the teachers will be higher.
Yes.
Right. So over there, the teachers would consider that you don't need to work part-time here. The tuition fee is coming from your parents, etc. We don't care where the money comes from.
Okay.
As soon as you are in my classroom, you have to put your 100% effort, or maybe 110.
Okay.
All right. So they will be more demanding, and rightly.
Yeah.
Right.
Rightly so.
Rightly so. Again, this is called multi-criteria decision making. When you buy a car, you don't go only with the brand. All right, what is the top brand?
Yeah.
No, you can't, right? The money, the price, and then resale value, the maintenance cost. You consider at least four of these,
Factors.
attributes when you buy a car, which is maybe $30,000. But when you actually enroll in a program, this is more than
Expensive.
30, more
Yeah,
expensive than 30K,
yeah,
right? So
exactly.
when this one is kind of the decision you need to take, this is even more a complex problem than buying a car. So when you buy a car, you consider 4 dimensions. When you choose a university, there are more dimensions, and you need to again and trade off which I'm losing, which I'm getting. So there is no straightforward answer.
Loved the analogy and loved the way how
Thank
you
you, sir.
structured it. If you were to hear my opinion, I believe that every university in Australia is good enough if you are good enough.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If you are not good enough, then even if you are in the top
Yeah.
1% university,
Absolutely.
you won't be able to excel, or you won't be able to take out that from the university as to what you're paying.
In Australia, they will never give you a job based on the certificate. They will interview you, right? So in the interview, actually, you need to show that how much you actually deserve this job. The first impetus or first advantage is given from the university. That is fine. But next is you. But on the contrary, yes, if you have been graduated from 33rd University in Australia, but you have done excellently good, right? Yes, then they will not look at which university you have been graduated from. So yeah, don't go for extreme. Like you are graduated from ANU and getting only 55% mark, don't go for that. Rather, go to the other university which is not ranked well, but you have done well. But the other two extremes, which is you are in ANU and you have done the best, of course, that is the best combination.
Yeah.
But don't go for the other combination, which is the university ranking is not good and you
You
haven't
also
done
yeah.
good at either.
Yeah. And as you mentioned that if you've graduated from a better university, I just wanted to ask that does it help? Like when you go to
It does
recruiters?
help. To be honest, yes, it does help. Human resource people, they receive, say, 100 applications against one job. So they need to find out 10 candidates who can be interviewed, right?
Yeah, they cannot interview everyone.
No.
Yeah.
So in that case, to be shortlisted, yes, I think that the university name will give
help.
you that,
Entry barrier.
Exactly. And number two, your CGPA, the performance, academic performance you have done. So that will shortlist you.
Okay.
But in the interview, then you need to demonstrate
Your
your
skills.
all these skills. But yes,
Correct.
to be shortlisted, yeah.
Yes. And as you mentioned that when selecting a university, don't actually see the university, see the course that you're doing and see if that course is number one in that university or not. And that brings me to my question that a lot of students, they first shortlist which country to go, then they shortlist which university, and at the end they shortlist their course. But shouldn't be the other way around, that course, university, and then the country?
So I think this is a question of practicality, because when you see that you could go to Japan, for example, but you choose Australia over Japan because of some factors, which I'm not, of course, discussing here. Or you didn't go to UK or US because of this, and that, but you have chosen Australia. So selecting the country first is not a bad idea. Because personally, I feel kind of uncomfortable when someone tells me that if I'm interested to teach in the USA. I don't feel comfortable.
Okay.
For many reasons.
Okay.
So, country, yes. Second one is university and the program. Yeah, they can go in parallel. Again, if your intellectual capability, if your bank balance, they permit you to go to the number one university, why not? Right. But if you have to optimize yourself that, all right, my parents is not that well off,
Yep.
plus O/O, I'm not intellectually confident to have debate or discussion with those, 1% student, maybe I'll not choose that one. Maybe not. Right. I would rather go to that university where I will be more confident. But in number one university, in every day you feel
You'll
like,
feel
come
out of
on,
place.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Then definitely it will impact. It will erode your
self-confidence.
academic performance.
Yeah,
and
self-confidence.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Even that's what I feel, that you have to ask yourself that do you actually fit in? If you don't, then maybe that's a wrong decision, even if you're in the top 1%.
Exactly.
Yeah. I have seen students who have been toppers in their bachelor's or in their college, and after coming to here, their confidence is literally shattered. Just because first of all, language, and then seeing such big, huge infrastructures and hi-fi things, they just get inferiority complex, as I said. And even though they are capable enough, they have those skills, they have that talent, but they get into that zone of they are not able to express themselves. So
Yeah.
I
And to get rid of this, or at least to help yourself, in Australia, we are very open for discussion.
Yeah.
So anytime you can come and talk to your, teachers for any reasons. You are not feeling well mentally and physically. So for any reasons, you know that.
Yeah,
Yes, as long as you don't ask money to,
Yeah.
don't ask to borrow money.
Yeah.
Jokes apart, yes, you can
Yes.
come and discuss for
Yeah.
anything. And of course,
Yeah.
expanding your network. Don't
Yes.
feel shy here.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
overseas countries, they are not for introverts, right?
Yeah. You.
I'm not saying everyone has to be extroverts, but
Yeah.
you need to expand your network,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Don't only go with your friends from your own
Yes.
country or own
Yeah.
cities. Don't,
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
So if you have friends from other countries, that will enhance your communication skills.
Yes.
Number one. Number two, it will give you broader kind of network
Yeah.
for your job, for your experience, etc. And of course, it will validate yourself
Yeah.
socially and culturally. When you can see that, all right, yeah, this community did not accept me, no problems. I do have three other communities or networks
Yeah.
I can mingle with, I can play with, I can go for a coffee or lunch or dinner or whatever. That gives you the confidence.
Yeah.
And that should be explored by all overseas students.
Yeah, I feel if you are an introvert, it's okay.
It's
But
okay.
then
Yeah.
when you have that chance, when you have that opportunity, just go for it. And I believe that if someone who has come here till here, they will have some or the other confidence.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, they would
Yeah.
have never come here because
Yeah.
this is a very big decision of their life. This brings me to my next point that, let's say that a student who's coming in the next intake, the July intake, or let's say
Yeah.
November intake, what should be a roadmap? Because when students come here, they're very much confused. They're so overwhelmed by whatever is happening and they have so much things to do, so they don't have a starting point. So with regards to their studies, at least for the first semester, what should we like, if you can give a roadmap that, how can students approach their studies, or how can they manage, or how can they, timetable it so that they're not missing out on the studies as well, they're doing their home chores as well, and they are earning money as well.
Again, I give you another analogy. You are having an exam of 2 hours, for example. You might finish your exam in, say, 90 minutes. You could.
Yeah.
But when you come to the exam hall 10 minutes later,
Yes.
it kind of, distorts your confidence. You think, oh my God, 10 minutes gone, 10 minutes gone. Actually, that 10 minutes is nothing.
Yeah,
You could
it's not a
do,
big deal.
but it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Because, maybe you could finish in 90 minutes or 100 minutes. Still,
Yeah.
you have got 20 minutes. But when you come late,
Yeah.
it breaks your
Yeah,
confidence.
subconsciously it's playing in your mind.
Exactly. So, what I'm saying here that don't come to the classrooms 1, 2, 3 weeks later. Don't.
Okay.
Attend the orientation,
Yeah.
attend your class number 1.
Yeah.
If
Agreed.
you miss class number 3, might be that is not that much issue,
Yeah.
but missing the first class, like the
Yes.
first 10 minutes of an
Yeah.
exam hall. So, number 1. Number 2, before you come, of course, you can see what are the expectations in that program or the course, right? So, in week 0, I mean 1 week prior to our semester starts, we publish all our materials,
Yeah.
everything,
Course materials.
course materials, assessments, everything.
Yes.
So why don't you go through and see what are required in this course, right? Do I need a textbook? Is there any final exam? Or if there is, a report type, what are the assessments type? So prepare yourself. Even you don't need to know anything about that program, of course, right? Of course, this is given that you don't know anything. That is why you have enrolled in my course. But you need to familiarize yourself that, okay, these are the contents, these are the assessments, these assessments are due in week 3, 6, 9, and 12, whatever, right? So that mental mapping is important. When you come here, don't get distracted with the cultural shock and language kind of barrier, right? This is very given. Everyone does experience. And number 3, of course, the homesickness. This is okay to have, but it should not distract you from your attending classes and doing things. Many of the students, they leave the materials for week 6 or 7 when the first assignment is due. That is a very bad idea.
Yeah.
So as soon as you finish one lecture, go back home and spend at least half an hour to 1 hour what you have done in the classroom,
Yeah.
at least,
Yeah.
that gives you a huge kind of
Advantage.
advantage. Excuse me. When you finish week 2 or 3, then you'll be quite okay. Because
Yeah.
here, at RMIT especially, we don't assess your language skill, how good you are at, in English speaking. We don't assess that one,
Okay.
So we just, if we understand what you're trying to say, good enough. Prepare yourself, see what is expected in this course, and what are the assessments when they're due. And when you come and attend the class, go back to your home, spend half an hour to 1 hour time before you come to the next class. Then
Yes.
you will be okay.
100% agreed. And this has, I've been following this. No one told me, but I learned this through trial and error. And I just like to add 2 points to whatever you said.
Yeah.
Firstly, I feel 15 minutes before the class and half an hour to 1 hour after the class. I feel if your class starts, let's say if your class starts at morning 10:30, just come 15 minutes before the class and do your, just go through your pre-class materials. And after the class ends, and here the class will not end like specifically just after 2 hours. Sometimes the lecturer will leave you 10-15 minutes before the class ends, so you can actually, just rather than just rushing out and just going towards your home, you can actually utilize that time and spend at least half an hour just going through what you've learned in the class or just going through your materials. That's it. So just make that 2 hour class into a 2.5, 3 hour class. And I get this, that when as soon as you go home, you kind of see other work.
Yeah.
So then you leave
Yeah.
your studies and all of that.
Yeah.
So do not just go to home, be in the class, be in that zone, complete your 15-20 minutes of study, if not 1 hour, and then go to your home, so that
Yes.
you do not miss on anything. And second, as you said that a lot of students, they try and cover their materials when they're in their 6th 7th week, and there's a lot of backlog. I experienced this in my first semester, and I did not do my assignments till the end of, I think, like 7th 8th week. So there was so much backlog and I was so stressed. I remember I did not went out of my room for 4 straight days. I was just in my room doing my assignments. And this is such a bad situation to be in, because if you don't start early, it will hit you in the
Absolutely.
later stage.
Absolutely.
So the only advice would be that start early. Even if your final assignment, it's due in week 11 12, at least start preparing for it. So that's what I would like to add.
Yeah, that's a very
Yeah.
good point. That is how we design our course, like pre-class, in-class, post-class.
Yes.
So pre-class, yes, as Hussein mentioned, that even though you don't understand anything, still you go through the lecture slides before you come to the class. All right, and as you mentioned, that after the class, spend half an hour to 1 hour and see what are the doubts you do have.
Yes.
Note
Yeah.
that doubt or confusion, or even you want to challenge your tutor. That is completely okay. Next class, before it starts, you ask those questions. Or meanwhile, you can send in emails to that teacher that yes, you do have doubts about those things straight away. This is your right. By the way, students, you need to know about it. This is your right. You have paid for it. You have paid for that service. You can
Yes.
ask me any questions, and you have got all the right to get the answers.
Yeah. Let's say if students who have completed 1 year, now what should be their roadmap with regards to job market, or when they graduate, how can they start preparing from now?
Very good question. I love it. So yes, like as you mentioned, start early.
Yeah.
So I take it from there, start early, which is for the job market. Every country is different. Like in Australia, when you apply for a job, they ask for some documents. And one is called selection criteria, which is very kind of unique to Australia. So you have no clue about it. That is fair enough. But when you complete your graduation and then you start doing or writing that selection criteria, like your assignment, starting with 12,
Yeah.
similarly here. So if you can start writing your cover letter, resume, plus the selection criteria, Then, of course, once you finish your master's or the degree and apply for the job, of course, you can make corrections, you can edit
Yeah.
because your wisdom has been increased
Yeah. Yeah.
given that. Selection criteria is dependent on which employer asks what. But in general, you need to explain or demonstrate your communication skills, you need to demonstrate your problem solving skills, you need to demonstrate your analytical skills, right? So here they want to hear your story, that how good you are at solving the problems. For example, in a street, again, that is a very silly example, but to just relate, there was a fight in the street and you intervene and solve the problem,
Yeah.
and those two people eventually shook their hands and they went for a coffee.
Yep.
That means you are a good problem
Problem
solver.
solver.
In our group, when I was doing my this and that course, there was a
Yes.
conflict between our four members. What you have done?
Yep.
I did this and that.
Like real life situations.
Real life story. All
Okay.
right.
But then this is like about the interview when you go for
Now,
interviews.
this is
Huh?
for the job application.
Job where you have to write all of this
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
application. Okay.
Yeah. You start preparing these documents.
Like a resume, cover letter, and
Yeah,
job
so resume
application.
and cover letter, you can do it, right? Of course. The selection criteria, again, as I said, you just pretend that you are applying for that job,
Okay.
right? You have done your
Masters.
master's and you are, uh, going to apply for this job. Open that package, what they're asking you to submit.
So you just search whatever job whatever position you are interested
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
and then
Just
see what
just
they are
just
offering.
go and see like business analyst or system analyst, all right,
Okay.
entry level, mid level, or whatever. So again, align with yourself that okay, I could apply for this job
Yes.
if I had completed my masters. So pretend that you have done your masters. See what they are asking you to submit.
Okay.
So in there, if they do have selection criteria, they'll give you or they will ask you that you need to give us the selection criteria on these 5 points or these 6 points or these 9 points.
For example, one example.
You have to demonstrate your communication skill.
Okay. Okay.
These are the three very common: communication skill, problem
Problem solving.
solving skill, analytical skills.
Skills.
For us, the teachers, they need to demonstrate your research skill.
Okay.
We have to demonstrate our managing big classes. So
Big
it
classes.
depends on the jobs, as I said.
Okay.
But the selection criteria is, as I said, a kind of unique requirement in Australian job market.
Okay.
So what I'm again asking that start this writing this one in maybe 1 year before you actually going to graduate.
So you demonstrate this by just writing on your
Again,
application,
if you
or
search in Google, and there will be thousands of examples that how to write selection criteria. I
Okay.
don't want to give you too much information on that because it will take more time.
Yep.
But in general, the STAR methodology is one very popular one: situation, task, action, and result. STAR.
Okay. Yeah, I've
What was
heard
the
about
situation?
this.
What was the task you were given? Number one, most important one, action. What you have done, and eventually what was the result. So that STAR methodology needs to be applied in all selection criteria in general.
Okay, and about resume, you said building resume. How does one build resume? Because, see, I have no past experience like in workforce. I have no experience. I did my bachelor's. Now I'm doing my master's. So in between, I did not do any job. Now also, I'm just doing part times, but it's not in alliance with what I'm going to do after my graduation. So how does one build resume while studying?
Resume doesn't need to be 6 pages or you must have to have 8 years of experience. It is not, right? For an entry level job, it is very known that you don't have much exposure in terms of the experience. That is very given. The resume is your kind of marketing poster, if I
Yeah, yeah.
so whatever you do have, whatever the skills you do have, just tell that. Whatever the experience you do have, even if it is a part time, go for it. And with the bullet points, tell what you're doing, what you have done.
Okay.
All right. Say, for example, I had to manage cash. That is a skill,
Okay.
or I had to, conduct monthly meetings, for example.
Okay.
Whatever you have done, that is something, as I said, a marketing tool so that I can have a look and see, all right, yeah, that candidate doesn't have this much, or this candidate does have that skills or the tools which I'm looking for. Of course, as I said, for the entry-level job, I don't expect you to have
Absolutely.
8 years of experience.
But in Australia, I've heard that you need to have some experience in your bag.
Again, how you define experience, that is an issue, right? The experience, what I see, doesn't need to be a paid, professional experience. The the assignment, the case study you are doing, real life case study you are doing in your this course or whatever the course, this is an experience.
Oh, okay.
Right. Again, how you demonstrate,
Right.
because we give you the real life problems.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
In my course, you have chosen a given business which does exist.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And you have done this, and that. This is an experience.
Yes.
So demonstrate that one. Right. So it doesn't need to be a paid one. It will be good if you can manage an internship through RMIT or through any other channel. Work for 3 months, 2 months, or whatever, and then learn what you have done and just report that. So the resume, as I said, what you are.
Yeah. So that's what I said, that what can students do more to enhance their resumes? Assignments and studies and all of this is good.
Okay, don't mention assignments though.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, of course, I'm just correcting. What I'm asking here, if you do have real life experiences, paid jobs,
Yep.
just mentioning the name of the job or the role of the job, doesn't make any sense. What you have done, I'm interested on that. How you portray yourself,
How you
present yourself, right? So even if it is from your group study or assignment, present in such a way that you actually have done that one for that client. And what analysis you have done, action, again, as I said, the action is the important one, what you have done. If I can see that to solve that problem, Hussein has done this, and that, I can easily assume that he could have done same for my role as well, or in my workplace as well. So it is you how you demonstrate. It is not relevant if that is a big four company or no, we are not looking for that. And it doesn't help, as I said. Yes, you have worked for PwC, but what you have done, that is important. Then where you have done.
Yeah, this is what a lot of students miss on, because I've seen a lot of students, they have done work, they have experience, but they don't know how to present themselves. They don't know how to express those things on paper. So that's why they get backed up.
Yeah, and one more thing to add here, as I said, for one job maybe there are 100 applications, right? So nowadays in many of the countries, including Australia, they shortlist using AI. So AI will definitely look for the keywords.
Keywords, yes.
Right. So in your resume, they need to be present. Otherwise, as I said, I work for PwC, doesn't give me any kind of value. What you have done, that is something I'm interested in.
And I feel that's where lecturers and professors like you come in. And I feel every student should take this advantage, that while they are building their resume, please go and consult your lecturers, professors who have been into that field and who have already given interviews and have already gone through that recruitment process. They know, because they have been through those rejections, and that's how they've improved their resume. So please take advantage of this and ask them for help. What are the keywords that you can add, and how can you precise or concise your resume rather than building a 6-page resume which doesn't make any sense.
Yep. That's a good advice, and there is no kind of bulletproof resume.
Yeah.
All right, there is none. So you can improve your resume over the time.
One thing that you mentioned throughout this is contacts, networking. When I was not here, I used to always think, why is networking such a huge thing? I used to feel that if you have that skills, if you have the talent, you will get accepted. But now when I've come here, I've realized that no, even if you have that skills, you still need that entry gate. And networking is, because it's such a formal word, a lot of students get intimidated by it, and they feel that okay, it's a very big thing, and we can't do it, and we have never done it, how to do it. It is very, very simple. It's like making friends. Literally everything that I've achieved here is through networking.
Yeah.
What do you think, sir?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Networking is very important. It is told here that many of the important decisions are made when people are smoking. From the student's perspective, definitely you try to make your teachers remember your name.
Yes, yes. I cannot
Right?
agree more. I cannot agree more.
Exactly. So what happens, sometimes we are asked by some employers that they need one or two persons or graduates uh, in that course or programs. And definitely we are human being, so the names I remember or recall, I just, all right, let's search,
Yeah, yeah.
then
Yes,
we approach to that the student.
yes,
One more thing, once you finish your degree here, I think your email address will be valid for 1 year. After 1 year, I can't actually email you,
okay.
even though if I need to catch you, then so I can't
Yeah,
reach
yeah,
you.
yeah. Yes,
So
yes.
having that continued network with your
Yes,
teacher is
yes,
important, with your
yes,
friends, that is important. So yeah, so get your name be known by your teachers. If the external people come to your classroom, or
yes.
RMIT runs a number of seminars,
Yeah, yeah.
workshops,
Yes.
and so on and
Guest
so forth,
lectures.
you guest lectures. So again, try to make such an effort so that the person who delivered the lecture can,
Ju-
oh yes, I know
yes,
him.
yes,
When you send him an email,
yes.
at least he can, oh yeah, I
Recall.
know him,
Yeah,
you
they can
recall.
recall. Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah,
out of the blue, come on, do I know you?
yeah,
Right. So yes, that is the networking you referred to. I completely agree that be your name be known by as many people
plus.
as possible.
Yes.
You don't need to go to lunch with anybody, everybody.
Yeah.
But still, it does
Yes.
help. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel not just job, I think it's important for survival, basic survival, because you are in a land of uncertainties.
Yeah.
Every day there might be situations where you might need help, and that's where networking comes in.
True.
And
True.
don't just see networking as, because you want an advantage from the other person. Just try to, get in touch with them, just have normal conversations. You don't have to have the most formal
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
And I think
Exactly.
it's the smallest of things that you do, like just put a cold email. People here, I feel they are so happy to help because they know that they've also been in certain situations
Exactly.
before.
Yeah.
So they kind of understand and relate that, okay,
Relate.
I
Yeah.
have been in that situation before, let me help.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it is very, very easy, I feel.
Very easy, and yes, take it seriously. Like
Yeah.
as you mentioned, that it doesn't need to be only for job. I recruited more than 2 students from your classroom, and I appointed them for delivering tutorials in the undergrad
Oh, okay.
at RMIT. And they have made their fortune from there because they use the affiliation that yes,
Yes,
they are with
yes.
RMIT, tutor of RMIT. And all of them, they are earning 6-digit number, the initial job I'm talking
Yeah.
about. The first job they have got was 6-digit, which is kind of a dream here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I don't take all the credit, but I would say that yes, definitely that
Yes.
helped.
It
So
helps.
those students, they were recruited not because they have got 99. It
Yeah.
is not the case that I went through all these
Yeah.
scores of all these semesters. Impossible. I knew that yes, they are there, or they are interested, or they can be reliable.
Yes.
So I approached them. They said yes, or someone says no. That's
No.
fine. Yeah. So we started from there. So again, see the names I recall. That's it.
Yeah. Yes, and this is so true when, as you mentioned about the job, because, when the recruiters sit and when they shortlist resumes, if they know 2 or 3 people who have already been in touch with them before,
Yeah.
they'll automatically shortlist their resume first because they know them
Yep.
prior. They've been in touch with them. So even that's what I would also recommend, that before applying or before submitting your resumes, get in touch with the manager or the recruiters first, so that they know your name.
Yeah.
And when they're sitting to shortlist resume, they'll know that, okay, this person
Yeah.
contacted me earlier,
Yeah.
so let me at least shortlist his resume. After that, it will be your skills and your capabilities if you get the job or not, but then at least you'll get that entry gate.
Yeah.
So that's where I think
Yeah, that is
networking
very
helps.
important. Thank you.
Lastly, I think we are, at the end of this whole interview podcast thing, I just wanted to ask that, is Australia still worth it? Is the job market here still worth it? Why should students consider Australia when they are, planning their overseas studies? Why should one, come to Australia and not to other countries? Or what Australia offers different from other countries?
Very good question. I can speak for 1 hour, but I don't want to. So number one, I didn't go to USA. I came in Australia, and I give kudos to myself every single day, because here in my 23 years, yeah, around 23 years, I would say I do have a dark skin, I do have a different accent, but in these 23 years, I was never been bullied or discriminated, let alone abused, which was very likely in the USA. All right. Even many of my friends, they live there, and some of them, they lived there for these 23, 26 years, but they would love to come to Australia. So yes, in terms of the society, the acceptability of the migrants, I would say Australia is one of the very good countries in your list. Number two, yes, there could be some, say, Scandinavian countries where you could have this kind of same treatment.
Netherlands.
In
Netherlands, yeah.
Netherlands, but the issue here is you need to learn a new language. The first thing I said in terms of the society acceptability.
Yeah, yes.
So, say Norway will accept you,
Okay.
but what language they use, you need to look at that.
Yeah.
So, if English is not their first language,
Okay.
I'll not ask you to go there. So, first, acceptability. Number two, language.
Language.
Third one, weather-wise is good. Fourth, as I said, for getting a job, they will not never, I would say never, based on my experience, but in theory, maybe never is a very strong word. But in most of the cases, your name, your religion, your background will not be an issue in terms of getting a job, getting a peer, or in any other instances. So even in my country, I can be discriminated. In India, you could be discriminated, but here I would say the chance is very little or none. So that is why you may choose Australia over other countries in terms of the treatment. Here, for my promotion, I don't need to do anything other than the job I am assigned to. But in my country, I can take it with the responsibility that in my country I have to entertain somebody.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah, I get what you're
So,
saying.
I feel at home here. I don't feel. I even tried in my country and worked there for around 1 year, but I found that is extremely difficult. But here I feel very comfortable. So yeah, why Australia? Number one, the societal acceptance. Number two, the language. Number three is again weather, and number four is equal treatment. At least you will not be discriminated to larger scale.
And with regards to studying, like, does it make a difference?
Again, it depends on whether you wanna go back to your country or stay here, right? So if you have a plan to go back to your country, you can go to any country. But if you combine your package that, all right, after finishing my degree, I will seek for a job and eventually I'll be seeking for a permanent residence or citizenship, maybe it's a package, which is kind of difficult in UK, in the USA, Canada, but here I think more doable. It is not guaranteed though, but more doable.
To answer, I would like to say one thing and then you can add on. I feel that students who come here from day one, they have this thing that, after 2 years, I'm going to, they have this mindset that I have come here for PR. But what I believe is that when you've come here, just go day by day. Just plan your day
Yeah.
one night before and then execute those plans in the next day and then replicate that for the next 2 years. And that's how you go about it. Yes, I feel that everyone can have a different approach and it can be right or it can be wrong, but yeah, if there is one advice that you can give to the upcoming students or the students who are here in terms of like a general advice which covers their studies and their whole living experience for here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you again. Again, it as you said, it depends on the person, right? But never come to Australia to get the citizenship or permanent residence.
Yeah.
It is a byproduct.
Yep.
Just consider it as a byproduct. This is not the outcome you are looking for. So if you can make yourself as a necessary person or thing, you will be appreciated in India, in Australia, in the USA, anyway.
Yep.
But if you don't make yourself valuable, then even when you go back to India, maybe you will be struggling to get a job. Right. So the PR, yeah, of course, back of the mind or taking the preparation, yes, follow that pathway. That
Yeah.
yes,
Have it at the back of your mind.
exactly. So, but that should not dictate your
Yes,
pathway.
exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with
Yeah.
finishing bachelor, getting a job, applying for PR,
Yeah,
eventually
nothing
get
bad,
the,
yeah.
nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So be on the track, but that should not dictate,
Yes,
right?
yes. That's
But
what-
if you can say out of 4, if you get 3.9 CGPA, for example, if you have a very good kind of value-added knowledge in that program you have gone, you are intaking, then the job, when I run a business, definitely I need people.
Yep.
And I need people who can work for me, right? So always I'm not making any kind of charity to you, right?
Yeah.
By giving you a
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Rather, you are
You are-
actually needed for my business.
Yeah. I'm the
So
one who's
you
creating value.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you make yourself as an essential part.
Yeah.
Without you, I cannot run my business. Make yourself like that.
Yeah.
Right. So in that case, yes, you can work for 2 years and then go back any country.
Yeah.
Right. Or you can stay here. But you make yourself as an essential part.
Yeah, like an asset who can just go anywhere.
Anywhere
and-
be sold.
Yeah,
Like a gold can
exactly.
be sold anywhere.
Anywhere, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But if you are a brass,
Yeah.
you even, will be a kind of a burden in your own
Home country,
family run business.
Get it. Yeah. That's
So,
a great example.
so yeah, focus on yourself. Peer is not an outcome; it is a byproduct. Good byproduct, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Before I finish, I
yeah,
want to add one thing.
Yes, sure.
Yes, you do have your professional skills, but the digital literacy,
Yes.
particularly the AI,
Yes.
is already become an essential kind of
Part of our
skill set. Excuse me. So, learn the values and limitations of the AI things
Yes.
and use it smartly,
Yeah.
and learn how to use it ethically and effectively. So we are not saying not to use, rather we are encouraging you to use it, because in your workplace you will be asked to combine your personal skills with the digital literacy.
Yeah.
So
Completely agree.
right, so educate yourself even though if you are not educated in the classroom.
Yep. All good, sir. Thank you so much. If you want to add some more things,
No,
or
thanks
if you
for
had
having me.
any more
And
questions for me, you can
no,
ask.
I think you have done a pretty good job, and I appreciate that you have done this. I don't know how much they will appreciate, but
Yeah.
yes, we always can try.
Yes.
We don't decide the outcome, as I said.
Yeah. All right, so that is the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching it till the end. I know that we could have covered more topics, but obviously due to time constraints we couldn't. Please let me know in the comment section that what are the more topics that we could have discussed on. Maybe, who knows, in the future I could get a part 2 of this. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and yes, more cool stuff incoming, so stay tuned for that.